Enough is enough. We must rein in Washington's reckless spending.
I'm Dr. Bob, and that's my prescription.
I'm Dr. Bob Onder, congressman from Missouri's 3rd Congressional District. Leader Hakeem Jeffries was recently on camera saying that the budget resolution we passed this week in the U.S. House is a, quote, reckless piece of legislation. That couldn't be further from the truth. A large plurality of Americans, including most Democrats, acknowledge that illegal immigration reduces housing affordability. Mass immigration contributed significantly to the dramatic increase in housing prices that we're seeing. And according to a newly leaked draft from the Federal Reserve, illegal immigration was a notable driver of growing housing and rental prices. They found that illegal immigration was responsible for 30% of the total increase in U.S. home prices from 21 to 2024. And was responsible for 20% of the total increase in rent. It's very likely that the 7 million people who entered our country illegally entered during the Biden administration and contributed to rising housing prices of at least 6.6%, through what the authors of the draft report described as a, quote, housing demand shock in the face of short-term inelastic supply. In economist speak, that means illegal aliens were driving up the demand for housing faster than builders could create supply. The tsunami of illegal immigration during the Biden presidency put extra pressure on an already tight housing market. House Republicans recently used the same budget resolution and reconciliation process to restore long-term funding at the border to help secure our nation and prevent the border crisis from worsening. However, now that we had millions of people in this country who we are unable to identify, including criminals, gang members, smugglers, and murderers, we must ensure that they do not vote in our elections. The budget resolution we passed this week will not only help us provide supplemental funding in line with the administration's request to support our national defense and farmers, but it will also help us send the Save America Act to President Trump's desk. Save America is far from reckless, and it will help protect the integrity of our elections. Recently, President Donald Trump addressed the nation about the importance of the Save America Act and reiterated that one of Congress's most important responsibilities is restoring confidence in our electoral system and ensuring that every vote is protected. The need for action is clear. The Department of Homeland Security recently announced that a review of public voter files in states that had not utilized the SAVE database identified more than 250,000 non-citizens who are illegally registered to vote. Election officials in California, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Nevada have been notified, and the DHS is expanding its investigation into additional states. The SAVE database provides state and local election officials with a reliable tool to verify an individual's immigration status. States that have proactively used this system, including our home state of Missouri, as well as Georgia and Ohio, Tennessee, Texas, North Carolina, Idaho, Alabama, Louisiana, and Kansas. Officials have identified both citizens and non-citizens and deceased individuals on the voter rolls, according to the DHS. While current law does already prohibit non-citizens from registering and voting in federal elections, enforcement at the polls is non-existent. The Biden administration's open border policies created serious vulnerabilities, and today, individuals registering to vote largely rely on the honor system. They simply check a box on a form affirming that they are an American citizen. That's all. The Save America Act would strengthen these protections by requiring documents of citizenship when registering to vote in the federal elections. With my support multiple times this Congress, my colleagues and I have passed the Save America Act. We believe that Americans deserve confidence that our elections are secure, accurate, and decided only by eligible voters. The existing safeguards are not enough. Currently, Current requirements under the Help America Vote Act, or HAVA, rely on state databases, driver's licenses, and social security numbers. But these documents do not necessarily verify citizenship status in every state. The right to vote in our elections is a fundamental privilege reserved for American citizens, and we must take every necessary step to protect it. I hope that this Senate passes the Save America Act and advances this critical legislation to ensure that Americans can trust the results they see on election night. Thank you again for tuning in. It's an honor and a pleasure to represent you in the U.S. Congress. I'm Dr. Bob, and that's my prescription.